Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the best-selling cards under $5 or less. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. Shout out to Battling Boxer Uppercutter, who has made his way all the way up onto the top 3. Hopefully there's more Soul Burning Volcano on the top 25. Under 5. I wonder if the set itself is more expensive. It is not. I mean, I still don't think Battling Box is a great deck. I just think the counter, the fact that this card searches Flame Veil Counter and is a target for Flame Veil Counter, just feels really, really powerful. Potentially, I don't know. Flame Veil Counter is like not that great of a counter trap card. It only negates spells and traps, which obviously can be really big because you can make this crazy first turn board. Your opponent just plays Dark Ruler no more and it's wraps, right? But Flame Veil Counter would just say no. We kind of talked about that card last week a good amount as well. Not a whole lot of change. I think this, I don't remember this card being this high up here. During your main phase, you can change as many monsters your opponent controls to face down, and then you can send all face up cards. Oh yeah, I think I've seen that effect before. I don't think I've seen it on a monster before though. If this card in your if you're in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, that's card effect or battle. You can change. By the way, these used to say that. It used to say if this card in your opponent's possession, if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, card effect or battle. That used to be a key, like words that were on there, and they took it off. So at least I'm noticing that they're trying to make the effects smaller. But you can change as many monsters your opponent controls as possible to face down defense position. Then you can send all face up cards your opponent controls to the graveyard. Did they both say cards? That's actually pretty interesting. I don't know how you get this card out though. Like as a level 10 monster. Is it this? It is. Okay. I thought so. I looked at it. I figured like a card like this in 2023 for it to be printed probably has like a continuous or a field spell that's wandering around that just very easily gets it out. Interesting card. I don't know. Like it could definitely punish like pendulums obviously. If that ever becomes really good. Like Super Heavy Samurai was okay. And obviously face up cards include monsters as well. But it's mostly going to punish like for example, this is just my thought process is like I can play this card into like goes in match, rivalry, skill drain, right? I play this card, send a Tistina monster from my deck to the graveyard, which is very easy to do because I'm pretty sure I could just send another copy of Crystal God Tistina, and then tutor this card out or special summon this card from my hand. Obviously, you have to have it in your hand, and crash it into a Lady Labyrinth or a Golden Lord or just any monster with more than 2,000 attack, Chainsaw Insect, and just get rid of all of those floodgates, right? Because it does activate Engrave. Obviously, it doesn't get rid of like Macrocosmo and D-Fisher, but like it does get rid of. It could potentially get you out of an interesting spot. I swear we have not looked at that card before, even though that effect sounded very similar. A lot of these are in a very similar spot they have been before. There does not seem to be any more Soul Burning Volcano stuff on the top 25. Visas Amaratara. I think I said that right. This card named because he's a Starfrost while on the field. You can only use the following effects. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add one spell or trap that mentions Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. And then during your main phase, you can destroy one monster you control, and all synchro monsters gain 800. Not sure why this card is so. I don't understand the Visas stuff. Am I missing something? Is like Visas, like the Visas Starfrost stuff, is that like actually really good? Because like I know Visas Starfrost is like $14. I don't know what else, whether this, I would assume they have like other stuff. Like, is this a Visas Starfrost card? It is. I don't know. It could be, I guess. It feels more like an engine that's not really that good. Like Adventurer and Punk. If you're gonna use it as an engine, like Runic, Adventurer, Punk feel like better engines. I don't know. Emperor Charles the Great. We talked about this card before. I forgot to even rate whether or not this card's a good buy. Because obviously, I think this card's a good buy. Just because it does have that potential to get rid of floodgates. I do not think this card is a good buy. We have talked about this card before. At $1, it's a little easier to take a risk. Granted, it's only a light play and it's $2 actually. This is actually $2. I don't know if I would pull the trigger on this. Like Infernoble has been a strategy that is definitely like has had its time in the sun to be really, really good. But even with the Battling Boxer stuff and even some more Infernoble support in Dueling Nexus and in Soulburning Volcano, I don't think Infernoble's like tier 1 amazing deck and we should buy all its cards because it'd be super expensive. Salamangreat Tiger is actually another card we talked about last week, and it's from Soulburning Volcano. I'm curious. It's like when I see a card like this, I think to myself, does this mean that Salamangreat have potential as an engine, right? Like I can run, like, I don't know, 3 Spinny, 3 Tiger, and a Gazelle. I don't know, because it is a Cybers, it is a tuner, it is searchable off of Small World. There's actually a good amount of cards that search this card. And it can make a lot of really solid fire synchro monsters. And it's just like a tuner. Like it can make non-fire synchro monsters as well. I think that's why this card has seen so much popularity. And also there's a lot of people who really, really like Salamangreat. That's why Salamangreat always has like a random top or always has a random win here or there. I don't think this card's going to be that great of a buy though, right? Like if I just look at this first page and I say to myself, what is probably the best buy on here? I'm obviously going to be really high on Ash Blossom and Joyous Springs, especially sitting at about $3, $3.25. If you can get this card for $3 or less, I'd pull the trigger. I don't know when the next reprint of Ash Blossom is going to be, because it was like when this one came out, we were really thinking like the card's going to go down in value, and it just didn't. This one did bring the card's value down because it used to be like a $70 card. It brought it down to like $20. And then it was just like Crystal Beasts, Beware of Trap Tricks, right? They were just like, okay, here you go. Here's just a bunch of reprints of this card. Stop complaining. It's a cheap card, right? I don't know if it's always going to be like that, because this is one of the best hand traps in the entire game. I think Nibs are interesting as well. Nib is like solid this format, but he's not as good as possible, like as good as he could be. Like I think if we go down here, it was in a Runic for hire strategy. It was in a top 8 Salamangreat strategy. That's pretty cool that a Salamangreat strategy top shots salads. I've never been the biggest fan of Nib, which is why I've never purchased it. I just don't think the card. I think a card as powerful as Nibiru should win you the duel if you activate it. I think I see a lot of people lose. I think it's like a 50-50 chance you drop Nibiru, you win. That's just in my experience. But it still could be a really solid buy, because there are some people who think it's a good card. But as far as like, the new Soul Burning Volcano stuff, I don't really know. There's a reason stuff is cheap sometimes. Like this Assault Synchron card feels like it has a lot of potential as well. I know that graph is horrible, right? But like it's just been consistently going down, but it finally sunk under $5. I don't think it's going to be a penny stock for long. And this will definitely not get a reprint anytime soon. And Synchron is a strategy similar to Dark Magician, similar to Blue Eyes, similar to Heroes. Maybe not as popular, but because it's an anime favorite, like it's an anime archetype, there are going to be people who just play Synchrons because they find it to be super fun and exciting, and that in and of itself could push this card back above $5. So if you could get Assault Synchron for $5 on the dot or less, I think I'd pull the trigger. I think we're going to go to the second page because we have talked about a good amount of these cards before. We've never talked about Assault Synchron. We have talked about Assault Synchron on the regular market watch. I don't think we've ever talked about it on the penny stock market watch, though. Unless I'm thinking of another card. Also, Duelist Nexus packs are $1.82. I can't remember the last time we had a pack in the top 25 best-selling cards under $5 or less. I mean, was about $5, dropped way down a few months ago. I would assume that's because of pre-sale. Yeah, because pre-sale goes live before the the pre-sale of packs goes live before the regular sale of cards. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to use. I just would be wary because, yes, it's in the top 25 best-selling products in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Under $5 or less. But I've just heard horror stories. Like, there was a comment I had on a video a few weeks ago where someone was like, I bought, I think it said anywhere from 6 or 12 of unopened packs, and it felt like they weren't unopened, right? They had been opened before, and I was getting gypped. And there's so much technology that has the ability for somebody to open up all of their packs, put a bunch of the really cheap 5-cent cards in a pack of 9, make it look like it's an official pack, and have the ability to reseal it. Like, people can do that from their home. So just buyer beware on these unopened packs. I don't know what TCG player would do if you open a pack and you go, oh, this has been opened before. Like, I don't know what TCG player will do with that. Like, I know, like, I just gave somebody a refund because the cards got a little muffled in the mail, right? But that's like card quality. I said it was near mint, and they literally looked lightly played. So obviously, you're going to get a refund there. Whereas when it comes to unopened packs, I don't know if Konami's going to step in. This Tristana archetype has got me intrigued. So let's just click on this real quick. We're now moving on to page 2. But we're still in the top 30 best-selling cards under $5 or less. So it's still very interesting. But if you control a Tristana card, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add a Tristana spell and trap from your deck to your hand. During your opponent's turn, if you control the card we looked at a little bit ago, Crystal God Tristana, you can change as many monsters as your opponent controls to face down and send all face-up cards your opponent controls to the grave. I don't think this strategy is going to be very good. But as an engine, it could be interesting. It doesn't appear to use its normal summon, and they do appear to all be Aquas. So, like, Aqua Actress, not like Water Aqua, which is weird, but like Aqua Actress. I think Gishki messes around with Aquas, but certainly, like, totally awesome just has to send an Aqua monster from the field or the hand. It just usually sends itself because it's rarely ran in Aqua strategies anymore. I'm curious, what is the... One second. I am fully intrigued now into this archetype because it seems like an interesting strategy that could be very budget. I don't know how to spell it. That's the only problem I'm having. Is that it? Tistina? So this is all 18 cards, but that is not true. This is all of them. Yeah, there's not. Maybe this is just the first picture. No, there's definitely 18 in this picture. And there's definitely 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So this is just missing. That's interesting, though. Because you could get this. This doesn't seem that bad either. Getting like double. Because I don't know if you need a play set of these 3 monsters. And you could get it for 15. And then come back over here. This is $3. So we're looking at 9. I definitely would go with that, though. Like, even like this is 29 versus 45, if that makes sense. So you can get like a play set of all of the cards for $20 and then come over here to TCG Player, buy the Crystal God Tistina for $3. Well, I guess not really. I guess $4, so $12. But that's still $34. Plus obviously shipping and handling. So this could still end up being correct, but you probably would qualify for free shipping, right? So from Core TCG, I wonder if, because Core TCG is kind of holding the line, I wonder if there's more people that are selling it at multiple. This person is also selling it. There's 6. I don't know how you got light play already, but this is not free shipping. Ooh, this card's kind of tricky. This card doesn't have. That's very interesting. This actually could be a really solid archetype to just sort of like invest in its potential. Like, there are some strategies that like look like they have potential, like Rescue Ace looks like it has potential. Will it ever live up to that? I don't know. I haven't looked at the entirety of the Tistina deck core, but for $40, you're going to spend at very most, right? You could just come over here for 56 Canadian dollars or approximately 42 American dollars. You can get the entire core, right? So for $40, you can get an entire core of a strategy. I don't know what could be ran with it. I haven't looked in too much into it. So yeah, that's the Tistina stuff, because it looks not like it has potential to be good, but potential to be fun. And what's cool about fun decks is like they could give you like at the very least $5 back. Like you get like fourth with a Tistina deck. I don't know. I don't know how to optimize a Tistina strategy, so I don't know what its maximum potential looks like. But I have read a few of the cards, and they do seem very interesting. And I just love the free removal of my opponent's spells and traps. And then we do have Relinquished Anima. I would assume the highest rarity of this card is not really. That's crazy. I guess it's a Link Relinquished monster, so maybe that's why. But it does have a really good effect, though. Especially just like if your archetype runs a level 1 monster, there's no reason you shouldn't have this strategy in your action. Like Floowandereeze runs this card in its extra deck. So there's a lot of potential with this card, and it does seem like it's getting a little bit cheaper. Yeah, like over the last month, it's I guess overall it's not really getting cheaper. This is the Brothers though. Yeah, this is the newer version of it. And I'm probably thinking of the Dual Overload version, which used to be a lot more expensive. Not really either. Okay, so it just recently started to go up in price, probably because it randomly found its place. Yeah, in a strategy. Yeah, I could see Pearly running it. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. But this card, I still think it's not FOMO. I still think this card could be a really, really solid buy. Just, maybe risk it for the biscuit type thing where you buy a play set for $7.50 and then they become $5 and you doubled your money and lunch is on you. But let me know what you guys think. What are the best selling cards under $5 or less that you are looking at? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe if you have more content. But most importantly, have a good day.